You tuned in. Lock in. Listen up. Yeah. From the block to the boardroom, pull up a chair. Big facts, big laughs, all of us here. Culture in the convo, truth on the track. We say what you think, we don't hold back, nah. Kick it in company, talk that real. My city, my music, that hometown feel. Culture, community, common sense talk. If you here for the noise, better change that dial. Kick it in company, say what we mean. Cut through the static, keep the focus clean. Lean in close, we gon' break that fence. Culture, community, common sense. Turn the mic up, let the people speak. Street wisdom, mixing with the work week. From kitchen table truth to city hall plans, we build more bridges than these hashtags can. Kick it in company, talk that real. My city, my music, that hometown feel. Culture, community, common.
What? All right, y'all know what time it is.
Well,
it is 12, so it's time for kicking in what? Time for kicking in.
We're getting right down to business, ladies and gentlemen.
And cut.
We got a special guest live via satellite. Oh man, yeah. This guy may or may not have checked the messages.
He might not be on there.
We got Chris. I forgot. I didn't even say how to say your last name.
Papst.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Nice and easy.
Goddamn Emmys in the back of his.
This guy's a professional over here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. The author, man.
He on time.
Yes, beautiful, man. Thanks for having it in the building. I'm glad we got the link up, and that's why we're here. We have a teacher in the building also as well, so. We got plenty to talk about as well in your state, city, and of course in St. Louis. And I mean, I assume this is happening nationwide. And we're going to get right into it. Let me grab my paper.
He said let him grab his paper.
What you got to get your notes? You got to get his notes.
We didn't even introduce ourselves.
Our executive producer is Russell Hawkins. We got a music video getting shot in the front yard and whatnot. We're just jamming over here at Overtime Studio. We're gonna rewind the track. My name's Justin. Kick it over here. Across the way we got.
It's Gina Wade. That's Gina two times.
And you got Big Phil in there.
We got Big Phil over there. One more time. The special guest live via satellite. That's you.
That's you.
You there, Chris?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah, let me get your excited outside voice.
Get that outside.
We got Chris in the building, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a best-selling author over there.
Failure Factory.
And yeah, I mean, we're just gonna basically jump right into it.
Okay.
And I mean, this is like I just said earlier, it's not only citywide, statewide, but nationwide. And how can we expect to succeed and raise the future of our country when we have looks like Baltimore's got a 12% math proficiency, 22% reading? Do those numbers?
Yeah, Baltimore's
Baltimore's
public education system. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, are those numbers misleading? Those are just two numbers that I pulled out, and that's math and reading. Those would be your two core elements of school, I would believe.
Yeah, reading is the main one. Everybody got to know how to read before you can even go on. See, they shouldn't have passed that law. If you ain't smart enough, you should stay behind. Don't be passing nobody along just because you don't want to leave no child behind. Up there.
And it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game too, and I mean that gets into the book, which is available. And what made you? We'll start with where are you originally from, and get into your history real quick, and how we got to where we are now, where we're passionate about this subject. You weren't born in Baltimore, correct? Were you from originally?
No, I wasn't. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Man, definitely.
So I'm just from a little town in southeastern Pennsylvania, and my dad was a public school teacher. He was a wood shop teacher, actually. I grew up in a wood shop. Okay. And then he taught for 35 years. He was in the teachers union. And then my brother and I went to K through 12 public schools. My kids go to public school. So public school is certainly something that has been in my life, for my entire life. And the basically how I got to where I am today is I was an investigative reporter for the ABC News affiliate in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And I got a call from my company that owns the ABC News affiliate called Sinclair Broadcasting, and they asked me if I wanted to do this thing called Project Baltimore at Fox 45 in Baltimore. So what Project Baltimore is that we are a journalistic team of 5. There's 2 photographer editors, 2 producers, and myself. And we launched in January of 2017. And what makes us unique in the country as far as local journalism is concerned is that we only report on one topic. And since January of 2017, that one topic is public education and public schools. It started in Baltimore City, which is what my book's about, but it's spread now throughout the entire state of Maryland. And the reason that I wrote Failure Factory is because over the last 9 years, what we have uncovered in the public education system, where taxpayers continue to put massive amounts of money into the school system, but the student outcomes don't improve. And in January of 2017, we really set out to answer the question, why and how? Why is this happening? And how is it happening? Why is it allowed to happen?
Exactly.
And I really wrote Failure Factory because I think after 9 years, we have figured out why we continue as a society to pump billions and billions of dollars into public education, but the student outcomes are getting worse.
Yeah, right. That makes no sense.
So what are you trying to say, Mr. Chris? Who does this fall on?
I mean, it's a variety. I mean, it's a variety of things. I would imagine you can't just put the blame on one.
I'm gonna start with the parent first because but then your son or daughter go to preschool and all that. Then
the parents aren't involved.
Majority of the parents are leaving it up to them to do the job instead of them when they come home. They're not even thinking about trying to work.
The parents are not accepting accountability as much as they should, because of course the parents are the first teachers. I mean, basic teach them right from wrong. Right? Do unto others. I mean, if you're nice to someone, if you're a jerk to everybody, of course, I mean, then we'd be a jerk to you. So I mean, just basic principles to that as parents. But once you,
mom and daddy probably jerks, so it just rubs off on you.
I mean, yeah, I don't understand, but I think it goes deeper. Like, I mean, it would have to be like the board, I believe, the Board of Education, superintendent. I mean, what do you think, or I guess who we pointing the finger at? I mean,
it's a lineage of people.
Okay, so there's a lot there. So let's just talk about.
That's a loaded question. No. We could talk about this for hours.
Let's just go over some data. We can start with a little bit of data and go from there. And what my book Failure Factory is really our 9-year study of the data and talking to parents and students that make up that data and teachers that make up that data. So I think what really makes this book unique is that it's not a short-term study. It's a long-term study. Kids that were in 4th grade when we started Project Baltimore in 2017, they've now graduated. So this is following those kids for a prolonged period of time. So here's just a little bit of data to talk about how the school system, and this is Baltimore City centric, but this is a problem throughout the entire country. So in 2017, when we started Project Baltimore, Baltimore City Public Schools had a $1.3 billion budget. In 2025, because the 2020 data isn't out yet, they had a $1.8 billion budget. So the school system got 500 million additional tax dollars per year. That comes out to a 38% increase in funding. From 2017 to 2025, the graduation rate after a 38% funding increase went up 1%. Math proficiencies after a 38% funding increase went up 1%. So now the graduation rate in Baltimore City is 71%, the lowest in the state of Maryland by far. But 12% of the kids are proficient in math. And really what this book set out to do is answer that question. How can you be graduating 71% of your kids, but 12% of your kids are proficient in math? And what that has done over years and years and years is it has created a city that is struggling. I highly doubt that anybody listening to us right now is scheduling vacations in West Baltimore or East Baltimore or South Baltimore. You know, these are statistically the most dangerous places in the country with hardly any economic growth or economic opportunities. And why is that? It's because the public education system is pushing kids through school without ensuring that they're getting the proper education. And that is what we're seeing.
We talk about this all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like we're all, I appreciate, I mean, this is so great. And we just can't not talk about it.
Look,
it's in our news all the time.
I went to school back then and studied now.
Oh no, it was still.
They still was
I mean,
doing
I
it.
assume it's been. No. How long? That was just a 9-year study.
Yes, that was just 9 years.
But before that, and I mean, of course, it's still going on. But through that 9, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna let you talk.
He basically said it's the No Child Left Behind Act. That's what's killing us.
They was doing it before then, though.
No, they wasn't letting you. Boy, they was flunking you if you was back when we was going to school.
Not everybody.
Yeah. What do you? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. You're up.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, yeah.
I'm having a hard time hearing. Go ahead.
Oh, you can't hear us out here as well?
No, I'm having a hard time hearing, but I didn't hear what were you guys talking about? What was the question?
No Child Left Behind.
Yeah. Okay, no Child Left. Well, No Child Left Behind is not a law anymore. No Child Left Behind hasn't been a law for probably 12 years. So a lot of people want to blame No Child Left Behind, but that's not even in existence anymore. So that was passed in 2001, 2002 during the George Bush administration. During the Barack Obama administration, the federal government passed ESSA, Every Child Succeeds Act. So No Child Left Behind is not even a law. In fact, ESSA has been a law longer than No Child Left Behind has been a law. But here's another thing that we can talk about that is really the central point of what Failure Factory is all about. Is when I got to Baltimore in 2017, I had already developed a pretty good reputation as an investigative reporter in DC. And I had a lot of people that were coming to me, and these are teachers, people in the administration, city council members, and they were saying to me, and this is all private, but this was not stuff that we were reporting, that if you're really going to dig into public education, if you're really going to devote time to this, what you're going to find eventually is that the public education system is no longer prioritizing the education of kids, is prioritizing the acquisition of funding. And then the usage of that funding to hire more adults, which grows the political power and influence of the public education system. And I didn't believe that at first in 2017, because as I said, I went to public schools. My dad was a public school teacher. So I rejected that concept right away. But after doing this for 9 years, I wrote Failure Factory because I now believe that it is true. But all you have to do is, don't take my word for it. Look at the data. Look, just what we talked about right here, just the data that we already talked about. A $500 million funding increase per year. Wow. And graduation rates go up 1%. A 38% funding increase, and math proficiencies go up 1%. So if you want to look at an organization and you want to see what they're good at, what they're focused on, all you have to do is look at where they're improving. And the public education system's improving when it comes to the amount of funding that it's getting. It's not improving for student outcomes.
So the only math they're good at is counting dollars.
So hey,
man, that's
you
rough.
Basically sit up here saying they getting the money, but they just dispersing the money to any type of teachers. They just hiring any type of teachers just so they can have the funding keep coming in. Basically, is what you said.
Well, what we're doing is, what I do over the 9 years is that I track how they're spending the money, where it's going, and what the outcome for that money is. And this conversation could really go in a bunch of different ways, but we'll start here. So over the 9 years that the book covers, from 8 years, 2017 to 2025, that $500 million funding increase. The school system used that money to give its existing employees a pay raise, and then hire about 1,700 additional employees. Okay, so now you have about 10,500 employees is what the school system had in 2017.
Okay.
And now it's over 12,000. So they added 1,700 people. But of those 1,700 employees, only 200 were teachers. So you would think that if you're a school system and your priority is to educate kids, if you hired 1,700 people and only about 10% of them are teachers, what is that telling you about the school system? So what were the other employees? Well, we lay it all out in Failure Factory. I tell you who they are. They're director level positions. They're administrative level positions. They're C-suite central office positions. The school system is hiring massive 6-figure salaried positions, hiring people for those jobs. But let's go back to the student outcomes. In those 8 years, the graduation rate went up 1%. The school system hired 1,700 people. And here's one more piece of data to sort of wrap it all up. Over those 8 years, the school system lost about 7% of its enrollment. The enrollment is going down. The funding is going up. The number of employees are going up, but the student outcomes are not. That is the makings of a failure factory.
That's in Baltimore. That's going on in Baltimore right now.
Just in Baltimore, but we're talking. It's bigger than that.
I know all this. No, it ain't so much.
Robbed if that's the case.
That's like he just said. That's been going on forever. That's only just what I've been in education for over 30 years. That's just only what he's been investigating. Like he's saying, and like I tell y'all all the time. Even as going through school, and even as my mom returned from school and all of that before she passed, when we was talking about it, it's more. I tell them every day. When it comes, like you just said, Chris, when it's about education, education has turned into a more big politician thing about getting money than teaching the students or getting the students. It's all about the money. Even if you go into preschool, it's so much stuff that you have to do as a teacher that got to do with paperwork, has nothing to do with teaching these children or nothing. Has to do with paperwork, has to do with funding. If your paperwork is not in order for that funding, the administration is on your head.
So, Chris, tell me,
it's about the money, like he said.
What's the difference between the teachers back in the day with me and you was going to school compared to the teachers that's doing? What's the difference?
Are you blaming? You're not blaming the teachers.
What you mean? What's the difference?
It got to be some type of a difference.
Are the teachers not qualified?
Exactly. It's all I'm saying.
How
everybody
the teachers
not qualified? Just because you a teacher don't mean you that
What's
qualified.
What's the difference?
What you mean? They curved back then.
Yeah.
They don't now?
They probably don't curve as much.
That's a lie.
But he just said the money make you like that.
You can't speak for everybody.
I can answer. Let's. So the question is, what was different now? So I graduated high school in 1998. Okay. So what was different then? That's different now.
And I graduated in '88. So come on.
So here's how I can say that. I do make the argument in Failure Factory that at some point, I think that too much money has been put into public education. And here's what I mean by that. I believe 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, most everybody that got into public education did it for the right reasons. They did it because they wanted to help kids and they wanted to help the next generation.
Yes.
And today, I still believe most people get into public education for the right reason.
They sure don't get
but
into
I think
it for
there's
the money.
a growing number that are getting into public education because it's now a means to acquire wealth.
Like a mug.
The CEO of Baltimore City Public Schools, she makes nearly $500,000 a year running a school system.
Man.
What did we already talk about?
That's failing.
12% of the kids are proficient in math. It only went up 1% in 9 years. You have 71% of the kids are graduating. It went up 1% in 9 years.
That's crazy.
But this is somebody who has been in that position for 9 years.
And once again, she's not a teacher. She's the administrator.
Entire time frame that this book covers, that Failure Factory covers, everything that we've talked about so far is under the same leadership. So if you get into public education and no one's holding you accountable for student outcomes, but you get a 38% increase in funding, why would you not get into public education?
Thank you. You
and once again, that ain't have nothing to do with the teachers, because the teachers are not getting this freaking money. The administrators are getting this money, and he just said that they're hiring in hundreds and thousands of administrators giving these extra jobs, making six figures, but you saying teachers and they still don't have nothing to do.
No, what is I'm saying,
who wanted to do better? Nah, fuck that. Who wanted to do better? Teachers care
now.
now.
No, they don't.
They care.
No, they don't.
But
the
whole sorority thing, other thing is that the teachers don't have no respect or no authority no more. I wouldn't care if they ain't gonna pay me my money and kids do what they want to do.
The teachers don't have as much support, I would say.
His
and a lot of teachers have to pay for supplies out of their own pocket.
He can't tell me nothing about no teachers
you heard
that I've been
about
doing for 30
before.
He ain't been in school for 30 years. I've been teaching for 30 years. So he can't say teachers don't care. Teachers do care. I've worked with a lot of teachers in different environments, different schools and all of that. They still care. But what can you do when you told to do? You gotta worry about this paperwork.
And you just said the CEO of the school system
making $500,000.
That sounds like a business, right?
It is a business.
Not right.
So
that's not a school.
Tell him about we hired people and we let them go and they get hundreds of thousands of dollars, not even touching the school days.
Yeah, 100.
And not teachers again. I'm in
St. Louis, Missouri, Mr. Papst. That's what's going on. And say we giving money away to people. And you know what? We'll hire them and we'll send them on about their way with all these close to millions of dollars and stuff. What type of stuff is that?
Well, I do appreciate your passion. So I'm loving your passion.
Yeah, seriously. I appreciate it, man. This is a real story.
So one of the things that I do talk about in the book that I think is really important is by the way, I just want to say that, so in January of 2017, when I started reporting for Fox 45, reporting for Project Baltimore, when Failure Factory starts, most everything that's in this book, I didn't realize about the public education system when I started doing this job. And the reason that I wrote the book is because I don't think a lot of people do understand how public education actually works.
They don't.
And here's what I mean by that. And as I'm doing my book tour and I'm talking to people about this stuff, here's one thing that I usually bring up that people don't realize is that public schools do not get money to educate kids. That's not how they get money. They get money to enroll kids.
I told y'all that last week.
So when a student is enrolled, that is how school systems get their funding, not just in Maryland, but throughout the country, most of them, if not all of them.
Sure.
So the incentive for a school system is not to educate a kid. The incentive is to enroll that child, because once that child is enrolled, whether they learn or not, the school gets the same amount of money. So look at it this way. You're a principal in St. Louis, Baltimore. You're making $150,000 a year. You enroll a kid. Now in Maryland right now, the average kid who's enrolled comes with a $23,000 price tag. That is how much money you're getting as a principal to enroll that kid.
That's a year of college. That's college.
Whether that kid is proficient in math and English or not proficient in math and English by the end of the year doesn't matter. You get the $23,000 anyway. So we do have this incentive problem where it doesn't matter if the kids learn. I'm just going to say it one more time. Schools are not getting money to educate kids. They're getting money to enroll kids.
And if you deseg your kids and you holler about, oh, I want my kids to go out here because they learning better, they got more of that, and they don't understand. Every time you remove your child from your school district, that money follows your child to that already school district that's already got all the money. And so you defunding your own school every time you do that.
And the nicer schools, of course, already get more funding.
Maybe your school
schools that need them don't have it.
Start spending their money where it needs to be spent.
And actually, a big issue here that just happened, they just turned it down, is St. Louis is divided between St. Louis City and St. Louis County. So that's the issue, and that's why a lot of our numbers are skewed as well. So there was another initiative. They do it every 5 years or so. They're trying to merge St. Louis City and St. Louis County. Our city has 300,000 when St. Louis County has over 1 million people. So guess what? If the city and county, all of our city schools are shutting down. So, yeah, I mean, we don't even have any money for these big wigs to put in their pocket because there's no school even to go to. They just demolished 6 of them.
What we just give that lady? What we just give that lady? $2,500, $50,000 just to go away.
Yeah, that was a severance package. I got a three-figure severance package, right? And actually, it's even affected. There's actually a Catholic school down the street that shut down too, right down here too. So it's not only a public school, but of course there's bureaucracy in there too. But I mean, it's just frustrating. Like I said, we can't not talk about it. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's frustrating because so much money is to go into the school. So a huge percentage of every dollar that you give your state government and also your local government, it's going to public education. And I think that's why my book is so important, is because if the kids are coming out of school and only 12% of them are proficient in math, what job opportunities are they going to have?
Right.
And one of the things that's really important here is a lot of people ask me, what is the fix to this? And the fix I don't think is very difficult. And that's why I wrote the book, because as I talk to teachers and administrators and people that are in the system, the fix is not hard. What the hard part is breaking the status quo, because you have so many people making so much money that they don't want to change the system.
Exactly.
Of course not.
Exactly.
But so who does it come down to? It has to come down to the people. The people have to say, you know what? We're not going to allow this anymore.
We're not voting for
We're
that
not
guy.
going to let a CEO of a school system make $500,000 a year in total compensation with 12% of your kids proficient in math every year, roughly, for 9 straight years. That is not acceptable.
That's not.
But that's what it's going to take. So how do you do it? Well, part of the reason that Baltimore is the way Baltimore is because you don't have elected officials that are willing to hold the school system accountable. There's no checks and balances. Baltimore and Maryland is a one-party rule state and a one-party rule city. And I'm not suggesting that the Republicans have all the answers, but I am suggesting that two-party control is better than one-party rule. Because what we have seen in Baltimore is that when you have one-party rule, you don't have any checks and balances, because that one party is in control. So it's going to come down to the voters. If the voters of Maryland and the voters of Baltimore City start voting for people that are going to hold the school system accountable and say, listen, if we're going to give you a 38% funding increase over 8 years, we need to have our kids better educated. That's not happening. The public officials aren't doing it. Instead, you have a CEO who has been there the entire time making $500,000 a year, and she's not being held accountable. Her cabinet's not being held accountable. The only people who are really holding her accountable is people like me that write like this, saying the situation isn't getting better because there's no reason for it to get better. The incentive structure is not there to improve the education of kids. And also, if you're not going to hold the school systems accountable, why would they get better? I mean, just between the four of us, if someone were giving us $500,000 a year and there was no accountability for the outcomes that we were delivering, what would be the incentive to improve the outcomes?
And that's exactly what the system got going
unfortunately,
on. And that's exactly why I say y'all full of it when you blame everything on the teachers, because the teachers cannot control that. And you saying, and then that goes all the way back to, and I'm going to keep on saying it because I'm an educator and I'm going to stand up for ourselves. When you keep on going back saying teachers and the teachers don't care no more, now they do. It's just that as the world revolves and the time goes on, kids are allowed to do more things. Like he said, I sit here and tell y'all this every week. It's about the money. It's about the enrollment. It's about that one child. It's about it's about all of that. So they're allowing the children to do any and everything in the school system, cutting up, fighting, and they not putting them out. But you want a teacher to be there and say she don't care. I'm talking. You want a teacher to be there and say they don't care no more, because now kids, when you was in school, you was getting your butt whooped and getting punished and everything. It was consequences. Now it's no consequences for nothing. It's no consequence for nothing. The kids can just come to school and do what they want to do. So then you're going to blame it on the teachers because the teachers have no controls. No, it can fall on these people that's out here doing the money. That's full of crap.
Love the passion. All right, so let me go this way.
Go for
so
it.
a lot of discussion about teachers. So in Failure Factory, I talk to a lot of teachers, okay? And here's where I see public education now in 2026. We have a teacher shortage throughout the entire country. Like, we know that.
Right.
No kidding.
But why is there a shortage? We don't have a shortage because there's people that don't want to teach. That's not true. People do want to teach. We have a shortage because teachers don't want to be in the classrooms and be surrounded by the environment that has been created
exactly what
in
I'm
public
saying.
education.
Thank you.
So,
I'm saying
what you have is you have kids that aren't being disciplined.
Exactly.
You have teachers that are doing so many roles. They're not just educating the kid, but a kid speaking out in their class and acting out, and the teacher sends that kid to the principal's office.
And the principal
next period, the kid's right back in class.
Yeah, right,
well, we all know if you have 30 kids or 20 kids in a classroom and one of them is acting out, it affects the education of every other kid.
Right.
And as I'm talking to people in my book tour doing this, every single place I talk to, you guys are in St. Louis, I guarantee you that teachers are listening right now going, yeah, there's a lack of discipline. I am not allowed to send the kid to the principal's office. They come right back in. And I don't have the control as a teacher. I am not given the authority as a teacher to do what I need to do. Well, that gets frustrating, and people drop out of the profession and they go do something else. But it's not because the teachers don't want to be there. It's because they're being hamstrung and they're not allowed to do the job that they want to do. So the bigger question then would be, why is that happening? Why is that happening? And in Failure Factory, I have an entire chapter on exactly why the discipline model has broken down and teachers have lost their ability to discipline kids. And here's the reason. The reason is because people that run schools want those schools to look good on paper. Yep. They want the schools to have few suspensions, few weapons violations, few fights, and few expulsions. So the easiest way to do that is simply not to expel the kid.
Not to report it.
It's not to suspend the kid.
Right.
It's the breakdown of the discipline. And it's because the school systems want to say, look, public, our schools are safe. We only had 2 guns. We only had 3 knives that were confiscated last year, and kids were suspended. And I talked to teachers in this book. You can read their own words, that they found kids with knives, and all the principal did was take the knife and didn't suspend the kid. Well, why is that? Because they don't want the report of the knife on the record.
Right.
And they need to read the book, because I live it every day.
And you know what those are called? You know what those are called now? Those are called warning signs. So, I mean, if kids are bringing weapons to school, that's not appropriate. They could hurt other students.
It don't matter. You ain't getting their school in trouble, because that's how they get their money.
So, I mean, but then they say when everybody's shocked when these schools do get shot up, or so, oh my gosh, well, you ignored the warning signs.
Well, you
don't need a weapon in school.
The school shootings that we do have, like generally what we see in those school shootings is that there is a pattern of misbehavior. And the pattern was not addressed. Right. And it got to the point where there was a horrific tragedy. There was a school shooting. We have seen that time and time again. But that's happening throughout the entire country because the schools, as I just said, they want to look safe on paper. So they want to downplay any type of violence. I interview a girl in Failure Factory who was in 3rd grade. Just hear me out on this. This is an outrageous story. She was in 3rd grade. She was beat up so badly that when she got home from school, she had to go to the doctor. The doctor had to stitch her head. The doctor kept her out of school for 3 days, wrote a letter to the school saying the environment of that school is no longer safe for this girl. Her mom went to the police. The police determined that she was the victim of a 2nd-degree assault, 9 years old, 3rd grade. Her mom then files a bullying report with the school. I have the bullying report. It's in this book. The principal of the school determined nothing happened to the girl. There was a police report with a 2nd-degree assault. There was a doctor's note, and there was a medical bill for the stitches in her head. And the principal said nothing happened to the girl. Well, why did the principal do that? Because she didn't want a police record attached to her school. That is why these things are happening. So then what message does that send to the kid that attacked the 3rd-year-old girl that I interview in the book?
And they
it
do
sends
it
the
again.
message that you can do this and you can get away with it. And that particular instance, is playing out all over the country. And the reason it's happening is because schools want to look good on paper.
Yeah.
Hey, so then when you get one of them teachers that snap and beat up the whole classroom, now he getting fired and he getting locked up because he done got abused.
And that's why you got a lot of teachers that's quit. They don't have nothing to do with.
What I'm saying?
Don't have nothing to do with. They don't care no more. They care for themselves.
I talked to a lot of people in Failure Factory that say, here's what's happening in these schools. These kids are creating violence in the schools. They're not being held accountable. They then create the violence outside of the school, get arrested, and go to jail. And a lot of what we talk about is the school to prison pipeline. I'm sure that you do a lot in St. Louis. They talk about it a lot in Baltimore. But just think about that for a second. If you taught accountability in the schools and the kids didn't recreate violence outside of the school and then get arrested and go to jail, could you potentially reduce the school to prison pipeline? And a lot of the people that I talk to in Failure Factory are arguing, if we held the kids accountable in school and they learned the lesson of not committing violence and it's not going to be accepted, do fewer of them get arrested when they leave school? And I think that that's a very valid argument.
You're right.
Like I said, we used to have authority to have consequences.
That's why I say
and another thing
they
too.
strip y'all down.
Another thing, how about nepotism too?
That too.
We had that. The superintendent hired her friends and family, and then the second one got hired. I mean, that happens a lot too.
No, what about the Francis Howell dude that got the $1 million? And he ain't even stepped inside the school not one day. But he got almost $1 million just to leave.
Yeah.
So they throwing away money around here for the education system.
And it's not the teacher. There is money to pay the teachers more, but it's these quote unquote extra jobs, these miscellaneous positions. Stick them in the corner somewhere. These, like you said, these triple 100,000.
Because most teachers don't make over.
And they don't do a job
unless you're a professor in the college.
And the other thing we talk about is the police too. Of course, when you got the police captain who's sitting in his office, snug in his fancy chair, making the most money, right? Of course. But the actually officers on the street in danger are. I would compare that. I would compare a street police officer to just an average teacher, right? And then the superintendent or CEO would be the police captain, right? Those littler people, of course,
they make your money for you.
Do the most work and provide the most service, and they get provided.
They get paid the littlest out of it, and all he doing is sitting in his office and sitting down, I'm
kicking his feet up in his $500 leather chair.
Stop it, big.
$5,000.
Stop it, big.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's about the money. And then I'm gonna keep speaking on her because, like I said, don't nobody go to school, don't no teachers go to school and get no 6-figure loans and on their backs to come to school, not to want to have passion to teach. That's BS. I call BS on that because it's expensive to go to school to be a teacher.
It is passion.
I call BS on. So the teacher don't got no passion no more. That's a lie. You can't do anything anymore. So they take your passion. They take your passion.
Right. You handicapped job.
And I see it every day and go through it and have been through it.
With all this money in the system, I don't think the teachers should have to buy their own school supplies.
We do.
I mean, really, basic like that too, right? Exactly. I mean, every little bit. We got
ain't nothing wrong with doing it, but you shouldn't have to come out your own pocket.
We do.
Oh yeah.
Or you have to send 32 letters home telling the parents everything.
Or you got to collect.
Or it's already in the stores where every school district. This is what your kids need for this grade. This is so wide now. They send it to the stores.
And you know what it is too. And also, it was also on the news. Mike Rowe was talking about it too. I don't know if you saw that article, but he was talking about the school system too. And I'm even talking about, if we're talking about college, like even the college and university school system, I think that's also, we'll write a second book about that. The failing universities. But yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. And Mike Rowe was talking about that, how he's upset, of course, because these schools aren't teaching basic core classes. How to fix?
Well, they're clearly. I mean, Mike Rowe is from the Baltimore area, so he's he's a guy that he's really well connected here. Yeah. And you talk about. I mean, the schools 12% math proficiency. I mean, what are they teaching? And that's the issue. You're talking about $1.8 billion and you got 12% of your kids that are proficient in math. And to not have public officials that are screaming out about this is really something that I don't understand. Like, I'll give you another example. So in 2023, we had done a series of stories, and it's actually one full chapter in the book where I looked at state testing data through Maryland, and I looked specifically at Baltimore City. And what I found was 40% of the high schools in Baltimore City, this is 2023, did not have any students test proficient in math.
How many?
Okay, so 40% of the high schools had 0 kids.
Wow.
Thousands of kids, 0 were proficient in math.
That's even scary. That's even scarier. That's basically one out of every 2.
But that's the thing about it. It's not what they're teaching. It's what the kids are not getting. You don't have time to teach because you're dealing with discipline. You're dealing with disrespect.
It's hard to teach
you're
a
dealing
class.
with fighting. Y'all know how many times I sit in the classroom every day, Monday through Friday, every day for years after years, and you can't get one assignment taught because the kids are acting a fool.
Have you ever seen Dangerous Minds?
Yeah, I did. That was a while ago.
This is Michelle Pfeiffer's cousin over here.
That don't have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
You're right. And I am a passionate teacher.
Wait, Dangerous Minds. That was the one with Coolio's song, right?
Yeah. But that was a kind of a rags to riches story too. And she's a teacher who actually cared, of course, right? But then it's still going on, right? It's a failing public school system, discipline problem with the students. So she's actually passionate about it, and you got to kind of work with the kids than against them. And same with parenting. Yeah. Same with parenting too. You can't be your kid's best friend, and you can't be the total dictator. You can't be a dictator either. Is there a happy median?
Well, so just let me finish that one thought that I had.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we did this story on the 40% of the high schools with no kids proficient in math, that was a huge viral story. And it should be. It's a very alarming statistic. So it went all over the country. And actually last year, when President Trump announced that he was dismantling the Department of Education, when he gave the speech, when he signed that executive order, he mentioned my reporting. He mentioned that. He only mentioned one school system in that speech. He mentioned Baltimore. And he mentioned that 40% of the high schools had no kids proficient in math. So he mentioned my reporting that's in the book. But when we did that story, as it went viral, and people outside of Baltimore and outside of Maryland were outraged, people inside of Maryland or inside of Baltimore, the elected officials had nothing to say. They're just like, no, we like our school system. Exactly. We're going to keep it the way it is. And so for me, being from southeastern Pennsylvania, if a story like that came out, and that's like a pitchfork moment. That's going to the school board and saying, superintendent, you're fired. Principals, you're fired. Assistant principals, you're fired. This is not acceptable. But in Baltimore, it's accepted. It's just allowed. And that is how a book like this can get written, because the public and elected officials in the city look the other way. They get the money, they give it to the school, and then they wash their hands of it, and they are not concerned when nearly half of the high schools have 0 kids who can test proficient in math. That's the overarching problem, and that's what has to be solved.
Man.
Wow, yeah.
So if my teacher don't care, me as a student, I'm not gonna care.
And you say,
Well, I don't think it's fair to say the teachers don't care. I think the teachers do care. I think that's why people get into teaching. But as we talked about before, the teachers aren't given the support, and they're not given the tools. And I think the teachers care so much, actually, that's why they're leaving the profession, because it's mentally draining for them. It's not good for their mental health. They want to help these kids, but the bureaucracy is getting in the way, and they're not allowed to help the kids. And I think that's why we have such a high turnover rate, and why we have so many schools that can't find enough teachers. It's because of the environment that has been created.
Exactly. But these chauvinists over here, I guess they got to listen to a man say it because they can't hear the woman.
Don't talk to me.
The woman that been living it for almost as long as you've been alive.
Talk to me. No, I see that stuff
every day.
And that was saying that's why it's great that we connected because we are definitely passionate about this subject.
We know y'all handicapped.
And that's our role is to at least inform people. Okay, right. First we got to learn about it. Okay, and then what steps are available and vote. We got the midterms coming up next month. So right, and there needs to be even like police. There needs to be, I guess, a board of directors that oversight of the board of directors.
But like you say, who votes?
And then let's have. I think we need open meetings. If you're in the school, the higher ups in school, you need to have an open meeting, basically, right? What are you guys talking about there in those boardrooms besides your golf carts?
Nothing.
And my new bass
if I'm
boat.
making
sitting at the round table drinking good drink.
$500,000, I'm not calling. If they not
board
calling
meetings.
it, I'm not worried about it.
But yeah, I think it's like I can say, bite the head off the snake or whatever.
Man,
I mean, it's got to start from the top.
Sorry, baby.
I mean, and that's we can talk about that for hours too. But yeah, like I said,
done.
it's politics and funding, and even our state is trying to take care of the city of St. Louis, and they take over the police force and everything. I think we need more localized governments that actually cares about the small percentage of the people. And that's what we all talk about. It starts with small things. Like I said, with school supplies or trash or just feeling good about the community you live in. How am I going to want to even bring my kids to school if the house next door is half a house? So right, let's start with the communities, bring people back to the city, and then where do we get the funding from? The cities that our St. Louis City is the one that needs the funding, but yet all the funding goes to St. Louis County. But they don't want to merge together. What do you mean no it don't?
No, it don't, because we broke the county broke just like the city is, B. Yes, they is.
That's why Lindbergh. Why does Lindbergh High School?
We'll put it like this: they screaming broke just like the city screaming broke.
Why does Lindbergh High School look like a college camp, bigger than a college campus?
Because people put money into their school.
Yeah, you just said it. So and then the people, so you know
what?
Let's bring it back then. I'm a kid who's having a good school experience, who graduates and has a good time. Then I'm going to be more inclined to donate money back to the school too, I guess. So I mean, it all kind of comes full circle. If I have I had a bad high school experience. So why would I want to donate money back to it? I guess.
Man,
There's alternate means of funding. I mean, and I don't know if you mentioned it in the book about your lot. Do you have a Baltimore lottery? Because in Missouri, the Missouri lottery is supposed to put money back in the schools, right? So that's
the Maryland lottery does the same thing. But what ended up happening was, as the politicians, and this is, it all goes back to your elected officials. Like electing people to public office is really important, and elections have consequences. So what we did in Maryland was their politicians said, hey, we're going to legalize gambling and we're going to open all these casinos and the money is going to go to education. And people go, oh, that sounds great. So they voted for it. And the money from the lottery and the casinos did go to education. But what the politicians never told anybody was that as the money was going into education from the lottery, the politicians were taking money out of education to put into other places. So the amount of money going into education stayed the same, but it just came from a different source because the politicians raided the pot of money for education and put that money into other places. So, the people were totally duped because everybody in Maryland thought, oh, the politicians are going to keep the amount of money going into public education that they had prior. More money is going to go in and our kids are going to get more money. But that's not what happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, it sounds too good to be true, right? And it's, like you said, in one pocket and out the other. Man,
exactly.
So where is the money actually going? Yeah, and it's like, how do they even push these kids through? Because they just want the numbers, even though their proficiency isn't that good. And it said 70% Yeah, 70% graduation rate in Baltimore too. I think it said on here too. And even with the low proficiency, so then you got money, then it goes back to college again. If you're graduating high school, but you're not really ready for college, then you're wasting all this money on college, and I guess then you rack up debt, right? So that's a whole other thing, is college debt.
Well, if you want to know where the money's going, I highly recommend you pick up a copy of Failure Factory, because I show you how to see where the money is going in your school system. And I take you through the process of where you need to look and how you need to do it, so you can see how the money is being spent, how the money is being allocated. And if people do pick up a copy, I'm really easy to get a hold of. It's just Chris Papst, ChrisPapst, on all my social media platforms, and chrispapst.com. I have a website. If you pick up the book, read it. Write reviews online, write me, let me know what you think. And, I wrote this book because I really do think that public education can improve. I don't think it's that heavy of a lift. I think we can just change a few things that would make a really significant difference. And I hope that people pick up a copy of the book, read it, and let's keep the conversation going, because we can't have more failing public schools. If we have failing public schools, they're going to fail society.
Well, the people at the top need to stop getting so much money there, because as long as they keep getting money at the top, these schools is going to keep on doing what they're doing.
Then it comes down to us. We got to vote for the right people that are going to say no more. Let's fix this, and let's do it for our kids.
Ain't no way nobody
all about
in no office should be making no $500,000.
Yes, they do.
That's just, oh man, yeah, because like you said, it's a business. It's a business. It's like I said, school is treated as a business model. So so like if a business turned in these kind of numbers, they would no longer be in business.
And what people fail to realize as well too, not only do they get those money for those children once, that's what I was telling them last week. That it's all about enrollment in the first day. That's why they push how they want the kids just be there. But when your school have the attendance that's flowing in your school, when you do all of that, those schools and those principals and all those people, they also get bonuses and stuff. They get incentives. Bonuses. They get extra stuff. So like you said, it's always gonna be about the money, because it's like, who did better? Okay, y'all in competition. These principals and all these administrators, they in competitions with other districts, other things, because they're giving them all these extra hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You know what?
So I'm not gonna. You teachers and you students just gonna get failed.
You know what it is?
Let's just become a higher up there.
Or you just use the kids for sports,
like a motherfucker.
Even with these NIL deals, and they're just after. That's once again, it's another money game, right? The kids are being as dollar signs. So kids are either A, like you said, bodies for enrollment, or B, dollar signs for, even high school kids are being recruited to college, of course, whatever. But they're dollar signs, or they're just bodies. They're not human beings.
You can make money.
Let's humanize. Why don't we humanize these students?
You can make money right out of high school now. So, soon as you go into college, you making money now. You ain't got to wait to the pros. You got some college kids out here making more money than pro people is. Straight up.
Well, like that's what you're saying. They use the schools using the kids for those, because the kid's gonna get that. So I need that kid to come in to make this money for my school. So So it's just a sad situation.
So I'd like voting. I'd like to address our mayor too. So so I'd like to start somewhere and then pass it up and eventually get to the top. But as the mayor of our city, I'm appalled.
I'm appalled is what it
says.
That's
another thing too.
Well, you gotta go get all the mayors and a little municipality.
I just definitely like that we're addressing this topic, man.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate you having on. And then what about 10 more years of this? I mean, is there like I said, you have the remedy for it in your book too. So hopefully, I try not to be a negative Nancy, right? I mean, so that sounds like you're thinking positive too. Like,
you got kids in the school system still, so of course you got to pay attention to that, man. Real talk.
But you know what?
The systems need help, and there are answers. This is 2026. We know how to educate kids.
Exactly.
It's a matter of doing what's best for the kids. Instead of doing what's best for the adults.
Exactly.
And if we start doing what's best for the kids, we're going to see outcomes start to improve academically. And if we don't, if we keep moving the way that we're moving, in 5 or 10 more years, I'm going to write another book, and it's going to be the exact same thing because nothing's going to change.
And we're going to be talking about the exact same thing 10 years from now.
And it's crazy.
Because it ain't going to change. Because if I was making like you said, you giving me $500,000, I'm not going to do nothing different.
Yeah, sit in your cozy office.
I'm going to keep on coming to this office every day, collect this money, and go home.
And our police chief is actually subsidized. He's making $100,000 from the city, plus he's subsidized like another $100,000 from private donors.
He come from Baltimore.
Yeah, so that's he was our Tracy. Tracy was actually a police chief or a police officer in Baltimore actually, but now he's the police chief of St. Louis.
He looks like
that's why you guys got rid of him, huh? I see how it is. Like, you guys can take our.
We sending them back.
You guys got our St. Louis Browns though, and you got Tupac over there. So I guess, yeah, but man,
that's crazy.
What's up, sissy?
Man, that's great. So,
but it's the main thing, y'all.
And that's another thing.
Vote.
And then when I had my first child, I was in St. Louis City. Okay, so I know from personal experience, and I'm like, wow, there's really not much city schools to go on around here, even in the neighborhood. I mean, so I ended up getting Jasmine in like a charter school or whatever, right? But then like whenever it got to like high school and stuff, it's like I almost had to move to St. Louis County because what's her name? The lady wanted to go to a county school because the county schools are notoriously better education than city schools.
Exactly.
So all these families are moving, and like you said, it's hard to get enrollment if everybody leaves the city and moves to the county.
That's exactly what I said.
They just take care of their building. They just take care of their property a little bit.
Is Baltimore set up like that? It's one area, or do you guys have separate areas of Baltimore, or is it one kind of unified city?
So we have Baltimore City, and then we also have Baltimore County, but they're two completely separate jurisdictions, two different governments, two different mayors and county executives, two boards, they're two completely different entities.
Let me guess. Baltimore County is better off than Baltimore City in school.
Significantly, but what we're seeing is that we're seeing Baltimore County, especially when it comes to student academic outcomes in the school system, they're certainly going down.
Oh wow!
And that's part of the reason that I wrote the book is because we're seeing the mentality, the education mentality of places like Baltimore that are spreading. It's moving out into other places where the focus is not educating kids; it's the acquisition of funding.
Right, and just enrolling them, not educating.
And
right.
Now what it is, it's a problem now. It's a problem now because it's hitting the suburbs.
That makes sense though. But yeah, I guess the county, it does come down to funding. So city schools have little funding, so it's harder. But you have more funding than the county, like you said. They're not really concerned about where it's.
And now they worried about it. Anytime you hit the richer communities, and their kids are not getting nothing. Anytime you hit the richer communities, and it starts going down, that's when it's a bigger problem.
You know it's really
bad. It's been in the poor communities the whole time.
All day long.
But now that it's hitting the richer counties or whatever, it's beginning a problem. The problem has always been there.
As a parent, because I want my kids to go to the best
But what I'm saying
school.
is, this getting worse out there too, because
I understand, but
all about
I still
politics.
choose them before I sit them around these motherfuckers.
And that's fine, but don't complain about it.
Why not?
But you complaining about something that you're making another problem for.
How?
Like you said, fix what's going on in your community.
Right. If you want my kid to stay in your school,
that's your community.
Something about your school.
You do it.
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate you having you on, and definitely share your concern for this topic. So definitely feel free to come by any other time. Definitely support you and appreciate all your research and everything. But yeah, let's just spread the message, and hopefully we can do something about it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. If you want a great conversation, I appreciate your passion. If you want to have me on again and talk about more issues,
anytime,
education related, please let me know. But yeah, the book is called Failure Factory. If you can pick up a copy, then let's keep the conversation going. Let's try to make a positive impact here.
Say, Chris, so you say $500,000 is the CEO of Baltimore. That's what he's making up there.
CEO.
I'm coming up there to take his job.
That's a business, not a school.
I'm getting his job then.
You could apply for it. She's leaving June 30th. So there's an open application right now for the job.
Oh, let me in there.
Kid Fellington put you as a reference.
Let me in there. Let me in there.
right. Yeah, appreciate you. Okay, we have one more time where they get your book. Where's your book available? Your website and how they get a hold of you?
Failure Factory is it's available anywhere books are sold. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Goodreads, any bookstore would have it. If they don't, they can order it anywhere. It's called Failure Factory: How Baltimore City Public Schools Deprive Taxpayers and Students of a Future.
So Chris, is all them your Emmys back there?
These
hardware.
Yeah.
That's great, man. You definitely deserve it. Yeah, you've done your research. Let's see that hardware real quick.
Oh yeah, he got that.
Yeah, so we got can you see that?
I wish we had more time. Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2.
He got that
hardware. I don't see why you don't know who this man is.
There's a whole bunch of them there.
We definitely got to do part 2 and get more into your career. So we'll do that next time. He's got to get going. But
yeah, you got to get going. But thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, talk to you soon. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. Thanks to our guest.
Hey, all day long.
Yeah, I know about that. That was awesome. Same shit I say every week. I don't do the exact same shit I say.
Lay down foundation for the evolution. Got blacked out, my mind's pollution. I took the path of the less chosen one. It's already started, the damage has been done. Back to front, where it all began. Trying to find my roots, find out who I am. Hard to survive with a set of rules. How can I learn? I'm suspended from school. Expectation, next generation. Learn out of proportions like the inflation. Leave a trail of lies, but I will find the truth. Run out of big guns, throwing life, cooking soon. Be replaced, elimination, erased. Stranded all alone, and you just don't belong. Something but nothing, but everything is free. Where did you get this mentality? Be replaced. Listen, I've been replaced and my girl has moved on. I looked around this morning and her car was gone. But what did I do wrong? I don't think I'm so bad, but it's kinda hard sometimes to replace a common man. Not the one, emotions that are bottled up, overflowing combination out of in my soda cup. Nowhere left to go, can't help the situation. The fights, the arguments, the verbal assassination. Situation undecided, no result to show. What I thought was good, I can't seem to let it go. In a world of darkness, I have found my life, and I just keep messing up, and I just can't seem to get it right. Always been seek, never really find. Simple world has been left behind. I turned the key, but I got the wrong door. A shot through the heart, and a fall to the floor.
The future is a chosen for the structural destruction. The common malediction replacing my decision deprive me of nutrition. The future is a chosen for the structural destruction. The common malediction replacing my decision deprive me of nutrition.
Fragile minds exploding, purging with forced nonsense. Want a peace of mind, and go on, take a slice. To take it all away from me. Ignorance, prison, slavery. Casting me, texting me, put me in captivity. Minding my own business, causing no resistance. Get your satisfaction with your court sentence. Just another day, what's eternity? Look inside my mind and replace it with insanity. Just a lost soul, left out in the rain. Umbrella is broken, covered with the blood stain. Possible to survive without first a fight. Say it with a smile, inform me of my rights. The government they don't care about me. Fighting for the wars, domestic and for greed. Replace my body with a dollar sign, but you can't and you won't replace my life.
The future is a chosen for the structural destruction. The common malediction replacing my decision deprive me of nutrition.
you entering my courtyard. These trumpets in my ear, the sign is so triumphant. I'm the ruler for life. It's a monarchy, it is I, says me, cause I have found my destiny. The key to the throne, satisfy the population. The power is unlimited, but long comes much frustration. Dangerous battles have been fought and won, and I've been on many journeys, and sometimes it's been a rough. And absolute power is gonna rule the one land. To take out resistance, that's the game plan. And the secret to success is not giving up. Inherited the empire, is that not enough? And I know I am the king, I know the chosen one. And when I have Excalibur, you think I need a gun. And I've conquered the mic like a neighboring country. Musical revolution just started with me. The king
of my city, and I know what it takes. Everybody gunning for me, I can't make no mistakes. All these roots in the game, they will love to checkmate. Gotta keep the gas going, got no time for the brakes. I'm the king of my city, and I know what it takes. Everybody gunning for me, I can't make no mistakes. All these roots in the game, they will love to checkmate. Gotta keep the gas going, got no time for the brakes.
at it all night, young Leonidas, Scotty and the king, Zeus and the Titans. Rolling, I be rockin', homes I'm reciting, flow so quick, I've got the beat like lightning. But I'm a rap slower, I'm the king like Thor. I'm the boss of the game, Southside taking over, but gon' take it further. I'm the king of the jungle, and they calling me Mufasa. Ain't a scar gonna hurt me, but I take what I see. I'm a king, see, you're gon' need more 300 just to murder me. That's not a hell dream. Martin Luther King, when it comes to beef, I'm treating me all like Burger King. You're more like Dairy Queen, a beat, I'm super. Home with me, get ugly like Ooga Booga. My swag is a phantom, swinging even super. Pockets on green like Luigi and Cooper.
King of my city, and I know what it takes. Everybody gunning for me, I can't make no mistakes. All these roots in the game, they will love to checkmate. Gotta keep the gas going, got no time for the brakes. I'm the king of my city, and I know what it takes. Everybody gunning for me, I can't make no mistakes. All these roots in the game, they will love to checkmate. Gotta keep the gas going, got no time for the brakes.
King of the castle, yes, your majesty. Talk to a psychic, she saw me in a prophecy. Got this big old house made of rocks and stone, kinda dark and gloomy, hard to go home. And many nights I spent out on the road. If I said we're a plenty, I was out there in the cold. It was the masses, not eligible to vote. Historical empires of books that I wrote. Sitting on the throne, high top the stairs. Sometimes I got to think and stare. I like my many, but that don't stop the jealousy. It's much political greed, it's all around me. Staying independent, gotta rise above it. Oh yeah, it's great, man, you know I gotta love it. I just don't worry about the working vibe. It's a never-ending puzzle, I think I got it solved.
I'm the king of my city, and I know what it takes. Everybody gunning for me, I can't make no mistakes. All these roots in the game, they will love to checkmate. Gotta keep the gas going, got no time for the brakes. I'm the king of my city, and I know what it takes. Everybody gunning for me, I can't make no mistakes. All these roots in the game, they will love to checkmate. Gotta keep the gas going, got no time for the brakes. I'm the king of my city, and I know what it takes. Everybody gunning for me, I can't make no mistakes. All these roots in the game, they will love to checkmate. Gotta keep the gas going, got no time for the brakes. I'm the king of my city, and I know what it takes. Everybody gunning for me, I can't make no mistakes. All these roots in the game, they will love to checkmate.
We shall continue to use it until we completely destroy.
I get cake every day like it's my birthday. Let them thick women that chocolate look like Hershey's. I can flip it up and beat it in the worst way. It's no limit to my shit for real, just call me per se. I get cake every day like it's my birthday. Let them thick women that chocolate look like Hershey's. I can flip it up and beat it in the worst way. It's no limit to my shit for real, just call me per se. I'm a patient nigga, I'ma sit and wait my turn. Don't fuck with me, I have no time, pussy niggas get burned. Pull up in a white truck, dirty, sell it like I'm worm. And I'm contagious, you can't avoid me, nigga, like a germ. Dude, you gonna learn, it's a protocol of life. The road too classy, you can't even try to ride your bike. All by myself, you know I keep the crowd high. Niggas be talking shit, boy, I hit them with these farming rights. You be hitting the pipe, all you rappers dope things. Boston back beaters, I'm in the zone, this is my team. And you know we posted up, we smoking on the best green. Boy, you keep talking, you cannot speed up, I'm the damn flame. I get cake every day like it's my birthday. Let them thick women that chocolate look like Hershey's. I can flip it up and beat it in the worst way. It's no limit to my shit for real, just call me per se. I get cake every day like it's my birthday. Let them thick women that chocolate look like Hershey's. I can flip it up and beat it in the worst way. It's no limit to my shit for real, just call me per se. I don't need a gun, I'ma still stand my ground. Grow back, nigga, I believe in beat down. If you want some candy, I can get it right now. Rappers hella fun, boy, I'm hoisting up this gold crown. Best believe my attitude, fuck all my enemies. I don't like rappers, none of y'all no kin to me. I'm trying to live good, nigga, feel that bomb breathe. Even though I claim the whole bomb, fuck with no flea. It's 100 degrees, I turn the temp high. I'm the man, I'm connected, I keep big supply. If they ever tell you big the bro, that's a lie. Give me a second, I'm on my way, boy, I'm about to arrive. Get cake every day like it's my birthday. Let them thick women that chocolate look like Hershey's. I can flip it up and beat it in the worst way. It's no limit to my shit for real, just call me per se. I get cake every day like it's my birthday. Let them thick women that chocolate look like Hershey's. I can flip it up and beat it in the worst way. It's no limit to my shit for real, just call me per se.
Foodie fam, it's about to get real flavorful. STL's Pot Chef Munchie Market Summer Edition is going down Sunday, July 5th from 1 to 6 at the Handlebar. And this is your official kickoff to elevated summer vibes. We're talking infused eats, creative drinks, specialty vendors, music, open dab bar, and that laid-back 420 rooftop energy. Come ready to explore bold flavors, shop unique goodies, sip something lit, and vibe out all day. Early bird passes are now live at stlspotchef.com. Snack passes, only $20, get you entry, hourly raffle entry, a lit lemonade shot, and full access to vendors and activities. Or go big with the Munchie Madness VIP. Get you early bird entry at 1 o'clock, pre-roll, 3 infused samples, unlimited soft drinks, and a dope VIP goodie bag. This isn't just a pop-up, it's a whole experience. Vendors are bringing the heat, hourly raffles keeping the vibes high, and the flavors next level. Passes will sell out. Don't wait. Secure yours now at stlspotchef.com and pull up ready for the munchies.
No shot of lemonade.
Yeah, back in action.
Woo!
We're back in action. Shout out to our great guest via satellite there.
Satellite.
That was quite yeah, if you guys need any more information on that, tune in because we'll probably be talking about it quite often as we go. So, speaking of our beautiful, wonderful city of St. Louis, city and county, yeah, they denied the merger once again, by the way. You know why? That's because your boy Sam Page, once again, followed the money. They were all wanted to get a raise, but Sam Page says, no, thank you. You guys aren't getting a raise. No. You know why?
Yeah, because he finna leave.
Because he leaving.
Yeah, we already know everything what's going on.
If he wasn't leaving, he would have got the raise.
Are you
Most
sure?
definitely. He like, shit. Damn, y'all gonna wait till I ready to leave now? Y'all want to give somebody
Y'all
a
ain't
big
getting
old
nothing.
raise?
So now they.
I'm gonna stop everything.
I think, but yeah, that's what we were saying. I think last week though is like, I think the merger theoretically, hopefully, would help the city school system. It would distribute the money more, but
Most
like you said,
would.
theoretically, right? But of course, it is just about the bodies. If everybody lives or everybody's moving to the county because our city's not good, it like comes full circle, right?
Right.
How are we gonna have city schools if our city is not good in general? You don't want to go to school here. You want to go to a nice fancy school with bushes.
That they building every day,
Right.
like they can rebuild these. They
So,
want to keep these. Turn
Speaking
that old
of
shit down.
keeping our city great, how about a program for what funding? Let's help our communities that need it. So we're gonna develop a program for it to buy and reinvest 144 contracts, which means 144 ways to improve our city.
Right.
144 different projects through the program. So basically, what this guy did, let's give him a shout out, a boo out. What's that called? A boo out of what's it? Guy, whatever your name is, Papa Bula, Banjo. Okay, Banjo.
Out of Banjo.
Listen here, Banjo.
Out of Banjo.
But yeah, so he took the money and basically started his own companies. And he had false through the city's comptroller, old Donna Berger over there. But who knows? This has been going on for a while. So like we said before, it could have been the previous.
What was the old lady name?
Darlene and Donna.
There you go.
Darlene and Donna.
Donna just got in there, so we can't talk about her.
I mean, and they think like you said, follow the money. They're putting checks into their personal account that came directly from this program.
Man, that shit crazy.
Transferring
man.
funds.
That's because the money is so much money. Like you said, they
obtained
stealing it.
They've obtained about $1.67 million for paying subcontractors.
His sister and his wife.
What he did was he had dummy companies. He used his family to make dummy companies. He got everybody that he can think that was willing to defraud
this guy
the
right
system.
here.
And I used to see him all the time. I used to see him working all the time.
Big dog, you got caught. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Look at you, ain't smiling.
No, he's trying to say you know who he looked like. I know exactly who he looked like.
Who he look like?
Yo Buddy.
Ooh.
So yeah, so it talks about him. Okay. So basically, if you're gonna be,
yes, he do.
If you're gonna be a criminal, at least be smart about it.
That's what I said when I saw him, but I know that man.
Nah, that man don't look like not to me though.
Yes, he do. You gotta look at it.
Yeah, but so that's another thing where. Well, like as we talked about the RAC last week too, right? The arts program, that's the money to improve our arts. And what do they do about that? We don't know yet. That's a numbers thing.
They trying to show that they spending the money because
they redid it 3 times.
That's why they don't teach the kids math, so they can't add up all these numbers in the bank accounts and everything.
But the thing about that is, and just like I said, it's a big thing now because that part of them people was basically wealthy people in that part of state and area. When you, like I said, it was all this stuff has been this way for years. So that's why I like BS on always the teachers and BS on they don't care no more. This stuff what I'm saying has been going on for years. The problem now is those nice schools that you went while the rich folks said and the other folks said they fell into now.
Here, hold on.
That's the problem.
Hold on, you said fall into. We're gonna fall into these potholes?
They fell in. Now their kids are failing, so it's a problem. But these are the schools that we said that was better for our kids to go to and all of that because they was getting better education. They just as dumb as a box of rocks, just like the rest of them. You get out of school, what you get out of.
And they just push them through for the numbers.
They push them through for the numbers.
Qualified or not. Let's go figure out where this money's going for them.
You an enabler.
No, you're not glorified being dumb.
You an enabler.
Some of these streets haven't even been paid
in 20 years.
20 years.
That's a shame. And look how they look, B.
And even in McCausland right
First
there.
at 5.
Let's see what they say.
Your neighborhood looks so good. You know that?
Let's see what they say about that.
A new street.
After these commercials. Oh, really?
In for a bumpy ride down this major road. Mackland in South St. Louis
right there.
is one of several city streets that have not been repaved in more than 2 decades. Tonight, we're learning it could be a while before your drive gets any smoother. Thanks for joining us. I'm Morgan Harris. Our Shoshana Stahl is live at 5 in South City, showing us the repairs needed, Shoshana, and why the fix is complicated.
Yeah, that's right. We're on Mackland, south of Chippewa, and take a look behind me here. You can see some parts of the road that have been retouched over here. You could see it's kind of a bumpy ride, like you mentioned, for some of those cars as they drive over it. But take a look to my left over here now. You can still see there are some potholes here in the middle of the streets. And some of the residents that I talked to say when they're driving down Mackland, they can feel that it has not been repaved in more than 20 years.
There's a lot of
unevenness, in that area,
potholes. You know,
I don't know.
They make it definitely tricky.
That's how Eric Finley describes driving on Mackland in South City, south of Chippewa. The road has been patched, but the city tells First Alert 4 it hasn't been repaved in more than 2 decades.
It's a bit ridiculous that it's taken this long. I don't know if they even are planning on doing anything about it.
And it's not just Mackland. Parts of Southwest Avenue between Sublette and Kings Highway also hasn't been repaved in decades. Finley says it feels like the city moves at a slow pace, and he's wondering when more fixes will happen citywide.
I understand it being tough maybe to allocate that, but I do feel like that infrastructure has really been overlooked for a while now.
Those streets are in Alderman Matt Devote's ward. He says the city has aging infrastructure from the utilities to the sidewalks and obviously to the roads.
Those are the kinds of things that as a city we are struggling to address on a day-to-day basis.
Devote says fixes to those infrastructure issues often take longer than residents and city leaders want. Spending some of the Rams money to prevent future problems and improve the infrastructure is an investment he says is worth making.
They're in awful shape. And you know, and I know, the kinds of issues that leads to. The problematic, the things that drive our folks nuts. Busted wheel rims, broken tires.
I think that's our buddy Brett.
Kind of items
I think
that
that's
can be
still in his
avoided
district.
with efficient investment.
Each ward gets a yearly allowance, which ranges from $700,000 to $800,000. The money goes faster than many would think, so spending it on repaving isn't in the cards. The goal is the Department of Transportation, which will begin in 2029, should streamline streets projects instead of it being on a ward-by-ward basis.
I'll believe it when I see it, right? I feel like as city residents, we have voted for change a lot, and we are yet to see some of that. So I would be hopeful that maybe we can finally see some change.
City residents voted to create that Department of Transportation, but it'll be more than 3 years until we see it come to fruition. In St. Louis City, Shoshana Stahl, First Alert 4.
Yeah, they just got a new, okay, lady.
When you have a Medicare problem.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So yeah, once again, I mean, that's pretty much the sum of all problems is who you vote for.
That's some of all the problems.
Yeah, I mean, so it's...
That's because, and it's because
how
our people
often
don't
can we
like
talk
voting.
about it, I guess?
That's what I'm saying. Vote don't mean nothing. Vote is everything. You can't get nothing done if you don't vote.
There was that street crime.
It means something at the lower level.
What do you think about the...
Everybody only care about the higher level, which is the president. That's all people. But people need to fail to realize
But the president don't run your city.
That's what I'm saying. People need to know that fuck the president. It's who run your city. It's the people you need to be focusing on.
Start small. Start small.
You got to start small. Real talk, bitch.
What do you think about the street violence 314 day? And now they enacted the curfew. Curfew for minors, yes or no? Yes
they
or
only
no?
did that
yes
because they doing the basketball stuff down there.
Well, I mean, either way though, yes or no? Is it a good idea in your opinion?
If
you're under 18, should you be out late at night? Yes or no?
No.
You be out no 10 o'clock.
Why you out there late at night?
Yeah, exactly.
We
I think it's a good idea.
You can be out. You just can't be out walking around the city when you got a big ass tournament going on.
Right.
That's you don't need no bad look for St. Louis why this tournament is going on.
And that's why they doing it.
That's why they doing it. Real talk.
They wouldn't have did it.
We don't need no more girl getting hit and losing her legs walking across the street and stuff
while
like that.
While we have this convention going on.
Come on, man. This is the NCAA tournament going on. It's around the world.
It's all curb appeal. Let's tuck them away, these hoodlums.
That's what they said. Did you hear them say temporary? This is a temporary.
Okay, so speaking of that, what about walk? So you don't want to walk downtown and you get run over?
I don't want to walk downtown, period. It got too much going on.
Whatever happened to the Carthage? That's where Carthage. Sounds like a super villain.
Motorheads, Carthage, along Route 66.
Okay. The Boots Court Motel. It sounds kind of country.
It's one of the most walkable downtowns in Missouri. Because we know St. Louis about dead last on that motherfucker problem.
They don't have any potholes out in there?
I'm talking about St. Louis about dead last down on that.
Whatever happened to those damn scooters?
They got rid of them. It was a waste of money.
They were still down there.
It's a waste of taxpayer money. Straight up, that was a waste of money.
Taxpayers are paying them?
Money. They just threw away money.
Taxpayers are paying them?
No, they started stealing them.
We got a problem with copycatting off other cities for some reason. The study's doing shit because we need to do it, and it's right in our fucking face.
The second most photographed building in Missouri, second only to the Arch. Oh wow. Okay. Well, if you want to go see some county, that's a county. That's why they're taking pictures of jail. That's the second most photographed building in Missouri. That's one fancy ass jail.
That's not the jail. That's the courthouse.
Is it?
Let you know, Missouri
courthouse.
We ain't got too much to offer you.
Oh man, I don't know about that. Okay,
We ain't got too much to offer.
Okay, well, I don't know about that. So if you want to see,
it's just an historic building.
If you want to see a courthouse,
it's a historic building.
Our courthouse is older than that, jerk.
They used to always want to show the old post office and all them. Don't nobody want to see that. They used to sell slaves off of there.
Yeah, that building looks like newer though.
That building ain't new.
That building old as motherfucker.
It's just clean and historic. That's why they.
Speeding drivers causing serious and even deadly crashes. Now a major effort to reduce those numbers and make the streets you drive safer. Dozens of St. Louis area police departments are joining forces with the Urban League. First Alert 4's Jordan Burrell reports on a new growing mission to reduce speeding and make roads and neighborhoods safer.
Make them skinny.
This outrageous, reckless speeding, and something should be done about it.
For lifelong St. Louisan Rosie Willis, constant reckless driving has her revving mad.
People running stop signs, stop lights, totally outrageous, and it needs to stop.
Her hope that something gets done about this has been answered by the Urban League as it grows its Slow Down campaign across the bi-state.
Vehicular violence is now beginning to rival gun violence, so we want to challenge St. Louis to slow down.
Slow down. It's a simple message, but a call to action from more than 60 police departments across the region. They're asking for your help in a problem they say they see every single day.
We want to get the word out of personal responsibility because that can help us reduce fatalities, reduce injuries, and actually keep people safe.
Departments from St. Louis to St. Louis County and even across the Big River into the Metro East want to slow things.
North County, South County, West County, erratic driving touches every community in the region.
Last year we experienced 4 deaths and 1 major injury on the same roadway.
Since March 2024, the Urban League has placed more than 3,500 signs and billboards in high-risk areas, notably West Florissant, where the sign sat feet away from a deadly accident where a driver rammed a city garbage truck, causing it to roll.
To slow down, there are officers that will be out enforcing the law.
And while Rosie Willis doesn't know that more signs will help, she says more patrols definitely will.
When folks have to start spending money, they'll stop being it. They'll start recognizing stop signs and traffic lights and all of that.
Police across jurisdictions say they're committed to working together to fix the problem, whether it's more enforcement or more awareness. They say it all comes down to getting drivers to slow down. In St. Louis, Jordan Burrell for.
Hey guys, we're gonna make some more curbs.
It's just a waste of money, big. Real talk, it's just a waste of money. People around here, I don't know what, because St. Louis used to drive like this around
I'll make some slow down signs with my name on it. You know what it is? It's free advertising, bro. I can make slow down signs with Mycitymymusic on it.
Like a motherfucker. Real talk, that's what I'm saying.
Why not?
No, that's exactly what it is. Because ain't nobody fucking gonna listen to it.
Well, and they're not gonna take them down either.
Where they just showed you proof. See? A whole accident was sitting right next to the motherfucking sign saying slow down.
Dude, I just got myself a brilliant idea. Mycitymymusic says slow down.
Like
signs coming soon.
I'll hang them up.
I'll make ones that say speed up. They'll probably take them out though.
Nah.
They'll say speed up, Grandma. Somebody calling the hotline?
Hey, what's up, Travis? 2 ass new, Brody.
Hold on.
Hello.
maybe.
You on the hotline one time.
Somebody on the hotline.
They got me sitting here, Tilsy.
It's Justin around.
Who we got on the line? You're live. Where you from?
From St. Louis. I believe you left your credit card up here.
You left your credit card.
You left your credit card, B.
Where?
Justin?
Justin, yep.
You left your credit card up here at St. Louis University.
St. Louis University.
Credit card, B.
All right.
You gotta go. You gotta know where to pick it up at, sir.
All right. Well, okay. I'll call you back after the show.
He said, Justin, you left your credit card up here at St. Louis University. You been to St. Louis University?
What's on free? That's odd. Well, we'll see. Tune in and find out. Where is your credit card?
You lost your credit card. Them
What
people
else
trying to
we
return
got?
it.
Chuck Norris fought death one time.
Yeah, he dead now though. Chuck came and lived a long luxury life. He was 85 years old.
They say he's the new Grim Reaper now.
Yeah.
He died, and who else died? Our girl off Apollo.
Who?
The black lady off Apollo that was on Apollo. What's her name? She died.
Oh, for real?
Okay, here we go. This is also, I'm going to circle back to this, is also related.
Man,
See, this cannabis income. Why don't we give this money to our schools?
That's where it's supposed to be going to.
No, because it's against the law. No,
she said the S word.
That's because that's still against the law.
No, but they're still using that money. That's where that money's still supposed to be going, is to the schools.
No, this one says for veterans, public defenders, and substance abuse treatment. Tens of millions unavailable.
So they were supposed to set a program up for that. No, they supposed to pay to that. No, they were supposed to pay for that because they was like, if they get people addicted or whatever, they supposed to have something in place just in case people get addicted and all of that. But they don't have it. They supposed to do it. They haven't done it.
Man. Yeah, so we gotta find out where that
That's crazy.
$95 million of tax revenue.
Set aside for veteran services, public defenders and drug addiction treatment programs set of spent.
They didn't use it. Where the money at?
They didn't use the money.
Right, it's probably putting.
And the budget projections show that unused pile of cash will still be more than $60 million over the next 2 years unless lawmakers authorize and intended for beneficiaries to use it.
So they just, once again, they sitting on money. They collect the money and never using it.
Yeah, see, the Missouri, look, and we voted for it. It says, Missouri voters
and they
passed
didn't give nobody
it.
that money.
So we voted for it, and guess what? Oop, it's not doing what it's supposed to. So, and that gives you the thing, what's the point of voting if it's not going to work anyway? Of course, you still want to vote, but right, as a voter, like, what the hell am I voting for if they're not even going to? And then you know who that is? That's your boy Fitzpatrick again. So he means business. I think I like him. Scott Fitzpatrick. He's the new auditor. He's the new state auditor. He's the one that looked into RAC too. But see, you know what? They're probably someone like him. The higher ups aren't gonna like. They're gonna be like, "Why are you investigating that shit?"
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen, but he might not. I mean, they're gonna figure out some way. If something happens to him, something happens to this guy.
He the whistleblower.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's actually trying to do good at his job. So here's the keyhole, $131 million in the 3 funds, $40 million for each. I think the public defender should get some money. Those guys try to help, it seems like, if you can't afford a lawyer. I'm gonna need a discount lawyer too, if anybody's got some. So yeah, so what's going on? So even if lawmakers approve the budget, there's $61 million sitting in 3 funds that they can't touch.
There's money everywhere. Money everywhere.
The House shot it down. turnover.
Wait a minute, but they wouldn't give them the money. But they gave the aldermen a raise.
Yeah. Right. House Budget Committee. Yeah, that's what it was. $7.3 million for pay raises. That was just for the police, remember?
Yeah.
And then they tried to do an extra takeover with a $200 million, and that's why the mayor said no. She doesn't want it. So the public defenders are happy, though. I think they got it, but yeah. I mean, and then we talked about, of course, he also said that there was a county deficit, all that, too.
It's just one big melting pot of everybody stealing money, B.
Money pot.
Everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, you skim some out.
Everything.
Take out 10,
we
throw
got
in
it to
5.
The wrong business. We got it to the wrong business.
Can't nobody, everybody getting paid, but they're supposed to be.
Yeah, look.
But the motherfuckers are supposed to be getting paid.
Department of Mental Health. Yeah, we need that. Everybody needs mental health.
Most
and look,
definitely.
Department of Social Services. They're supposed to get the money. Those are the ones that need it. And the health department. Well, they don't really need money by themselves, but social services that link up with the health department are the ones that need money. So, yeah, the health department is the damn insurance people. So, yes, we'll take social services. I'll take social services.
They take money from the schools. They take the money from everybody.
Mental health for $400, Bob. Those are my categories.
They take the money from everybody, and that's the thing about it.
If I can put some money in my pocket, that's what we're gonna take away.
See, I don't know about substance abuse, though. I think if people are substance abuse, that shouldn't be us. We shouldn't have to fit the bill for that.
Why not? A lot of times they cause you to be substance abuse. I mean, people get hurt. It's the medicine that they constantly pump on them. You could have got hurt and end up addicted to something. That's not your fault. So why would I not want to help you?
I think it should be more their friends and family or people that care about them.
Well, as taxpayers, we pay taxes.
For their fuck-ups.
You pay taxes for everything. It's people pay taxes for schools and never have kids. It's people pay taxes for the fire department and never have a fire.
If people had a better education, they wouldn't be doing drugs, Fellington.
Be doing drugs.
See, there you
That's
go.
a lie. You got doctors.
School to prison
You got
pipeline,
doctors that's druggies. You got
Pharmaceuticals,
lawyers, doctors, judges. You got all these people that's on cocaine and everything else. So what you gonna say about they got better education? It's probably the next person you go get surgery with probably gonna be high off coke.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to put this story in the but definitely look into that. I mean, yeah, what it is, checks. That's what it is checks and balances, and you gotta know what we put. It says Missouri voters voted for it.
Yeah.
They straight ganking.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's like that in the world, y'all. Unfortunately, when it comes to money, it's not to be trusted.
Yeah. All right, what's the next one?
Sad day in the state, the United States of
America. Y'all had all that
America.
news, and you hot too. Come on, what's the next?
Well, I can't do everything around here.
Sad day.
What else we got?
I mean, just we obliviated that blunt.
Oh man, I forgot. Okay, we can talk your other buddy, Fellington. We'll do a little bit of.
What's that?
Your guy living the double life.
Oh man!
Wasn't that a TV show, Dexter?
Man,
wasn't Dexter like a serial killer, but also a crime scene?
He killed the bad people.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what Dexter is. That after they investigate and he find the people that did the wrong stuff and kill them, cut them up and stuff.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah,
I know he was a killer, but he was also police.
Yeah, he killed the bad people.
Well, that's kind of like the Punisher.
Yeah.
That's my other hero.
Okay.
That's what Dexter was.
Yeah.
I know about that, but I
So let's see what this guy's talking about here after this commercial.
Want to amplify the value of AI?
Yeah.
Introducing SAP Business Data Cloud, a full...
Now, decades after the alleged assaults, the wheels of justice are turning.
Decades
Wayne County
after.
Prosecutor Kim Worthy has authorized a slew of charges against 68-year-old Benjamin Martin Wagner. The retired Detroit cop now facing 7 counts of criminal sexual conduct and 5 counts of kidnapping. Prosecutors say Wagner abducted and raped 5 different women and girls in northwest Detroit between 1999 and 2003.
Women and girls.
The alleged victims were between the ages of 15 and 23. Worthy says all 5 attacks were strikingly similar.
And the commonalities were they were walking to school or home from work or simply going to a friend's house. These happened in the early morning hours mostly, all on Detroit's northwest side. He utilized isolation and force. He was armed with a handgun in each and every case. He threatened their lives if they reported, and he did not use a condom in any of the assaults. We are in our, I think, 25th year, I could be wrong on that, in investigating these unsolved, these sexual assault kits that were in the Detroit Police warehouse that we found in 2009. So this case is part and parcel of all the work that's been done in that case.
Wagner retired from DPD in 2017, some 14 years after the last reported sexual assault. He worked in the 2nd and 10th precincts, as well as in investigations, tactical services, and the commercial auto theft unit. The FBI and Greenville police arrested Wagner at the Greenville International Airport in North Carolina earlier this week. That's where Wagner currently resides. He's expected to be back in Detroit to face charges next week.
He was gone. They caught him somewhere else. They deporting him.
Want to amplify the value of AI?
And you know, that just speaks on authority and stuff, as we say too. That's why a lot of crimes don't be solved, because a lot of them being committed by police officers. So that's why they're not being solved. And then a lot of people don't speak up. People that passed away and all type of stuff. They don't speak up because they police officers. That's why people don't trust police officers. And they stick together. So why would I come tell on you if you're a police officer?
Yeah, that's what I said. They arm with
that. That's too much going. That's too much right there.
And that's been 25 years.
And that dude raped all the women.
And don't tell them how many women he raped. Them just the ones they know.
They say he ain't wear no condom.
Yeah. Well, I think we can we can probably wrap it up a little early. I think we're out of news anyway.
Fine. It's 1:51. That ain't early.
1:51. Well, appreciate our guest Chris hopping on today. Yeah. So there you go. I don't know. All right, lady. Let's get out of here.
What's my name?
Lady with 2 D's.
Double D's.
There you go again. That's HR department. That's an innuendo.
You said lady with 2 D's. These the only 2 D's I got. Double D's.
These nuts.
These coconuts. Double D's. Bop, bop. We out of here, y'all. This y'all girl, Jenna Wade. You see the shit I got to deal with. Ding dong.
You ain't dealing with shit.
Out of here.
Big dog. All right.
Big Bill. See y'all next Saturday.
Yeah. Justin Kiggett, My City, My Music. Come on board, hop on mycitymymusicradio@gmail.com, mycitymymusicradio@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube, website, all over the place. Come on, we don't care what you want to talk about, we'll talk about it. Unless it's probably not good, then we'll send it to somebody else to talk about it. If you're a winner, if you're above average, if you're below average, need not apply. If you're cool, if you have some kind of talent, some good useful information, then yeah, we're going to do that. We'll see y'all next week. My City, My Music. We got Gloves Off coming up next. Out of here.
Out of here.
Missouri small business owners, this is your moment. STL's Pot Chef Munchie Market Summer Edition is pulling up Sunday, July 5th at the Handlebar, and we're looking for bold, creative vendors ready to shine. Infused eats, snacks, drinks, sweets, arts, candles, lifestyle brands. If your product makes people say, I need that, we want you in the building. High energy vibes, real customers, music, and a crowd that comes ready to shop. Spots will go fast. Lock in your vendor space now. Let's make this summer market one to remember. Apply today at stlspotchef.com.
Come on to America. Yeah, we got the bomb. Fasten your seatbelts and remain calm. Like the economy is going. Yeah, we'll let you in and you'll feel right at home. Come on to America. Yeah, we got the bomb. Fasten your seatbelts and remain calm. Like the economy is going. Yeah, we'll let you in and you'll feel right at home.